We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
You'll get it done.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Your Oakland University Golden Grizzlies.
Drives to the basket, and it's in!
The biggest games on the blacktop.
4-3. Of course! Borowski from 3!
We need you there.
Golden Grizzlies fans, get out your dancing shoes! Sacker down by the end line. Puts us across. Lose your eye! And just like that, 1-1. Now Elders may look to take a shot. He does, and he buries it! Steps up, and just like that, Reed Dennis comes up big. Lose your eye, 1-on-1. Lose your eye. Oh, he'll be taken down inside the box.
Knocks back in. Nationals got it. Bicycle kick for a goal!
Now Sacker. Sacker into the 18. Sacker shot. That goes off the goalkeeper's glove into the net. 2-1 here in the 32nd. This one played in. That's a good ball. And that one goes in. And just like that, the Nationals now have a 1-0 lead. Walensky puts his far post. One-touch opportunity. And what a great goal that was.
Joaquin Beatty of Ohio League.
Look at that shot from Sevy Roy. My goodness, Sevy Roy with a left-footed banger.
gentlemen, welcome in to another season of St. Louis Ambush Soccer on MASL TV. 30 years after the Ambush went to the pinnacle of indoor soccer, tonight, the St. Louis Ambush look to return the first game of the indoor soccer MASL season. Joey Zanaboni alongside Matt Rocchio. Matt, it's great to be back with you in the Ambush, especially now that the team has signed the greatest player in league history, Frank Tayu.
I mean, he is the record book, Joey. So when you sign him, obviously, the fanfare is going to be big around a season like this one. And, of course, no better place to start than facing off against the Comets, the first of 5 times this season. And it's going to be an interesting one, as always with this game. Plenty of players who have played for both teams, who are from Kansas City, who are from St. Louis, and playing for opposite teams. Just a lot of storyline here in this game.
Rev up the engines and make sure they're full of gas. This is the WANA Cup, the I-70 series. A great rivalry continues on tonight.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a really tough battle for both these sides. Obviously, you add Marcel Berry, you add some incredible defenders from the Kansas City Comets side. You add the king, Frank Tayu. You get his brother, Uzi Tayu, an all-star defender. You bring back, although not active today, a former Ambush in Mo NDI. A lot of other additions to the roster as well. 8 changes from the final roster for the Ambush last year. It's going to be a different Ambush side this year.
And great to have you as well. The only guy in this arena who can say he's dressed sharper than Scrooge McDuck. That's Matt Rocchio. I'm Joey Zanaboni. We're back after this with Opening Kick on MASL TV.
Don't dive into coins.
You'll get it done.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Restore Chesterfield is the official wellness and recovery center for your St. Louis Ambush. We offer cryotherapy, IV drips, hyperbaric oxygen, and so much more. Bring your ticket stub and receive 1 free core service. See you soon, and go Ambush!
'24, 2025 begins right now at the Family Arena in St. Charles, Missouri. The St. Louis Ambush and the Kansas City Comets renew the I-70 series. It's not only the first game of the season for both of these teams, it's the first game of the season in the MASL. Happy to have you with us on YouTube and MASL TV. We just had the voice of St. Louis, Charles Glenn, sing a legendary national anthem. Our good friend Mark Moser, Ambush legend, in the center circle with the ceremonial first kicks, about to get underway with a season that starts with the strongest roster, certainly that you and I have ever seen in our 4 seasons with this team.
Absolutely. Like, we're just going to talk about it. The King, Charles Glenn, opening up the new era for the Ambush, which is going to be led by the King on the field, and that is Frank Tayu. We're going to talk about him a lot, and that's because, like we said in the opener, he is the record book. Goals, game-winning goals, goals in a season, career games played. All those records owned by new ambush forward Frank Tayu. He's not the only one. His brother Uzi Tayu also joins, an all-star defender who's been on 3 different Ron Newman Cup teams. So they brought in veterans, they brought in leaders, they brought in scorers, and hopefully that means they're bringing in wins.
Brought in more impact players than any other team in the MASL. Ambush were left out of the playoffs last season, went with a roster revamp, plus on the other side, the KC Comets, they've stayed pretty consistent with the core, though they are lacking some key players that helped them to the Ron Newman Cup final last year. One that stands out, I think, because of what he's done to us. No Nacho Flores, their captain, sidelined tonight due to accumulated penalties.
And obviously Nacho Flores is a big loss, but I think the biggest thing has to come out. On the original injury report, you saw him there. Nicolau Neto reported as questionable. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he is not in the starting lineup for the Kansas City Comets. We're going to see a different man between the pipes, and obviously if you're an Ambush fan, that gives you a little bit of hope because, like you said, Nicolau Neto alongside Nacho, just an incredible player in the history of this rivalry. Philip Ishimadou will be the goalkeeper for the Comets tonight. 10 games played, 4 games started in his MASL career. So a chance here for the Ambush to get this season started right.
99 gets the starting goal for the Comets. On the other side, it's the familiar 17. The Brazilian Roblo, Paulo, back once again. The ageless wonder. He doesn't look a day over 21, does he? And yet, he's a longtime veteran who will celebrate his 40th birthday right after this season concludes. Paulo gets the start in net for the St. Louis Ambush. Will need his creativity, but you've got to like what he has in front of him now. This Ambush team completely restructured and about to kick it off against the Kansas City Comets side that has quite a bit of talent and quite a bit of consistency as well. The Major Arena Soccer League is proud to welcome you to MASL Soccer on MASL TV. Guys, warming up with the Miter ball. Miter is the official game ball supplier of the Major Arena Soccer League. Established in 1817, Miter is one of the leading soccer brands worldwide and produces some of the best soccer balls in the entire world. Learn more at mitre.com. We are off and moving with the Miter ball. Where are we?
Maybe a little bit of a false start here.
Looks like they'll put it back, and let's do it right this time. Here he is, the King. Opening the door to 2024, 2025. Frank Tayu and the Ambush control the ball to start the game at the Family Arena. And let's go, St. Louis Ambush. Tayu to Tayu, Frank back to Uzi. Will SK targeted on the far wall, and SK let loose by Lucas Almeida. SK stopped up around the yellow line by Lucia Tetsane. Uzi picks one off. Frank at the top of the bow, giving back toward SK. Stolen away by the Comets. Michael Lennis able to jar it back toward the center line. This Ambush team also now with local product Dylan Hundelt. He's going to get the ball here from Uzi as the older Tayu brother checks back to the bench for the first time in the game. Christian Briggs pops off of it and targets Frank downfield. Off the wall, the King. Double teamed outside the box, Chad Vandergriff, another St. Louis guy, holding him at bay. Rafa Araujo finding a friend, Julio Varela. Tries the luck. Elided here on the first try. Philip Ejimadu went down, but it bangs away. 1 minute into the season, Ambush controlling the tempo so far. Lucas Almeida looking to send downfield. Frisbee gets headed back onto our end, and our usual will give it to Paulo.
First time we're seeing Frankie hit the bench, by the way. They subbed out the first 4 starters and kept rolling with Frankie because the name of the game for the Ambush, get the ball to the King, Frank Tayu.
Uzi, his brother, who's won an MASL Defender of the Year award, slips one to Varela. Varela, a late signing out of Watsonville, California, another good MASL experienced guy. Hundel gets it back after initially trying to feed Duduka and airmails the shot. Good to see Duduka back and good to see a glimpse of what Hundel can do.
Unfortunate, Joey, to see that they haven't solved the helium issue in the arena despite all the new things. We got new AV equipment, we got new signage around, but still, the helium issue still happening here inside the arena. I think we forgot to put a ticket in on that one.
Hulk does a little hold-up work in the corner. Finds Christian Briggs, about 2 in now. Still nada. Ramon Palmer, the last remaining Palmer brother with this KC team, gets a rip away. His brother Roberto Palmer, no longer with the team, he's with the Strikers. And Palmer gets it on the wall and sends it off of Hundelt's knock into the fans. It started here with Leonardo Acosta. Forward Zach Reggett, former Rookie of the Year with the ambush, giving back through Leo Acosta. Acosta in the corner. Paulo comes out to cut it off. Luckily the shot a little bit high. Resuscitated by Eric Pereira and pushed to the center line.
Paulo almost gave Acosta the angle he needed to take that shot, almost put him in a bad position there. I thought it was kind of crazy that he came out to charge that one because he has no angle if you just stay flat there. You come out like that, you create one.
Take away to get Tayu into the center circle. Comets coached by Stefan Stokic, second-year head man. Jeff Locker entering his 4th season on the bench with the ambush. He assumed the interim duties back in our first season, 2021-2022. Tayu picking one up off the board, back through Varela. Araujo tries to chop it on, taken away easily outside the yellow line. Poked back in by Varela. And it kangaroos up to the fans.
Got a little lucky there, Araujo. One of those cases where the ball's spinning too much and you go to try to clear it away and it just dies on you. Fell right to a Comet position. Great job by the ambush to not lose it in the midfield there and give up too bad of a possession.
Skillful header by Araujo. Varela uses the wall with the king. Varela into the corner against Vandergriff. Gets it back to Rafa. And punched away by the KC keeper. Ejimadu gets it over the glass. Ambush set up well in the corner.
First real stoppage, a lot of back and forth play here between the ambush and the Comets so far. A lot of the biggest plays from the ambush are by new names that we have not got a chance.
First of 5 meetings. We'll have another broadcast in New Year's Eve. It's at stlambush.com and ticketmaster.com. The Comets host the ambush on Sunday. Make sure you're with us on MASL TV, 6 o'clock start time from Independence. Eric Bergrud, Nick Vezos will have the call out there at Cable Dahmer Arena. 4.5 into the season. Still no score. Lucas Souza trying to change that. How about that? Huge step in front by Dylan Hundelt. Wears one for the good of the team. And Tayu sent tumbling on the other side of it. Hundelt fired up after that big block.
Yeah, ball pops up there on Pino. Easy call there to give the ball in possession back to the ambush.
Almeida and Araujo in the back. Paulo Nascimento. Go-karts one forward to Hulk. Sidelined last season with a knee injury. Duduka, such a big part of this franchise. Once again, gives the option up top. That signature hold-up play going against Guerrero Pino. Multiple-time MASL champ. Araujo back at midfield. Diagonaling for Duduka. Wanted SK. Got a little bump, and Almeida, that's emergency duty, well done. Sends it all the way to the new ribbon board that's circling around Family Arena. $13 million makeover in the offseason for this facility. Almeida, after Duduka kind of got bumped, trying to get it back to SK, and it went out of sync pretty quick. And plays it safe. Nice work by Julio Varela. Sticks a toe up, gets it up over the ambush bench. 9:17 left in the first quarter. Ambush nothing. Comets nothing. Acosta. Wanted to swish one through toward Reagan. Got tipped up and away. Pereira tried to get it. Now looped toward him, hugging the board. Briggs. Varela comes back to get it away. And now Tayu closing in on Michael Lennis, making him a little bit nervous. Goes back through the keeper. Frank continues the pressure with James Thomas and Julio Varela. Lennis. Acosta trying to settle things down. Comets went all the way to the championship series last year on the strength of mid-season additions. Zach Reggett, who knows something about that, pops one in the corner. Vandergriff through the middle on the header.
That was an absolutely gorgeous setup there by
Marcel
Vandergriff.
Berry trying to dig it out of the corner.
That deserved a first assist of the season by Vandergriff. That was a beautiful header.
Berry, the former ambush, couldn't make more of it. Now Paulo gets a chest one by the post, and Uzi Tayu slams Tetsane against the board with his chest. Down goes Tetsane, just a whistle, not a blue card. And what's basically a corner kick coming for the KC Comets.
Uzi's a big boy, 6'1", 200 pounds listed on our sheet. Crashing into that, and the board on the other side, that's not a light hit to take.
They go back, and they'll score first. Acosta sends it hot on the turf under Paulo's mitt, and Kansas City has a 1-0 lead with 8:06 left in the first.
Just a perfect setup. You can't give a man that kind of space at the top of the circle right like that. He's got the entire goal to work with. He can pick his shot, pick his lane, and he found one right between, looked like Varela and Tayu on that shot there. Just too easy for the Comets on this one. You just can't let him walk up like that and have that kind of space to wind up and pick his spot. Great shot, though, by Acosta. An absolute screamer just out of the hands of Paulo to open up his scoring mark and the mark for the Comets this season.
Ball gets Peloton downfield, easy pickup for Paulo. Ambush have fallen behind, but they know they can beat this Comets team. Duca plowed down in front of the Comets bench. Hard hit on the wall, and now the ambush on the other side will get a favorable whistle.
Disappointing goal to let up, Joey, considering the hype coming into the season. You're playing clean. Nothing wrong with going down 1-0 early. It's going to happen a lot this season. It is indoor soccer, but just it's too easy to let up that kind of goal to start the season.
Between Duduca and Pino.
Like
Pino
that.
was the one who hammered him into the board a moment ago.
That toughness from Duduca, we missed that last year, Joey.
Berry tries to catch up to one down the wall, courtesy of Ramon Palmer. Berry in his first year with the Comets. Ambush midfielder who's known for great speed. Missed quite a bit of time last year with some toe problems. Ambush will have to contain him, looking like Stokic wants to use him in a big way. 1-0 convenience store left in the first, 7-11. Fans, do you have a group of 10 or more who want to attend an ambush game at a discounted rate? We're here to help. Send an email to info@stlambush.com. Ball gets emailed downfield to Tayu. Frank trying to turn. Varela swirls it back through Almeida. Rafa Araujo, midseason pickup last year for the ambush. Effective offensive and defensive player. The Scotch tapes with Almeida. Off the wall, maybe wanted Briggs. Stolen away by Tetsane. Nascent stages. Comets trying to add to a lead. Rian Marquez on a turn. Stolen away by Varela. Up the main avenue to Frank. Gets tipped away. Scrambling for it, Henry Ramirez. And Corral's on the wall. Space made. They wanted Debre Haliman returning in his second year with the KC Comets. Instead, it's easy enough in the back, Paulo and Briggs.
The one thing you're going to see Locker try to do, put some speed out there, put some size out there, balance out the lineup for the ambush so they always have something to come at you with, whether it be speed, power, skill, physicality, what have it.
Araujo, key takeaway, Uzi on the board. Corkscrews back, SK. Good battle against Michael Lennis. Slips KC's way, Tetsane in a 3-on-1, giving Lennis, and Paulo disrupts. Through the middle, Souza was waiting on the other side. cross not exactly clean. Now Souza sees an opening, takes one away in midfield and scores.
What an incredible goal for the Comets to take the 2-0 lead. You can't blame Paolo for bringing it out and handling it. He obviously had to with the way the ball went, but he's got to absolutely hoof it back between the pipes there. Not enough sprint there from him.
We're back right after this.
Looks great. Oh.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
St. Louis ambush, Kansas City Comets. Media timeout first quarter. Comets just extending their lead to 2-0. Some pressure from Pereira from behind. Tayu did all he could to try to get in front as that one took a bounce, and Souza cleaned it up and swished it home from distance. Good vision from him, has the Comets up by a deuce. Good loft by Hundelt. Taken out of the air by Varela, taken away by Kansas City. Acosta, the other goal scorer for KC. Prods one over the halfway line, and the scrambling back was Christian Andreas, UMKC alum. Ambush contained in the back. Hundelt brings Varela, Hulk, and JT Thomas. Brings hot air ballooning to Duca. His first game in a year plus. Stymied by Guerrero Pino. Now Briggs gets some contact, goes down, doesn't get the whistle. Araujo plucks it out of the air on the other side. A slow start, but the ambush with a star roster and a team that is going to be better at controlling the tempo this year than last year. Tayu to Tayu. Frank off the wall. Jarred off of Tetsane. Cleared away from the box. Araujo takes the jackrabbit. Uzi in front of the Comets bench. In the corner, JT Thomas. Thomas pressured by Vandergriff. Uzi in support. Araujo from the crow's nest. 4:04 left in the first. Frank Tayu looking for his first. The greatest goal scorer in league history. Bulldozes through Tetsane. Clever move past Acosta. It's taking the entire team to clog the drain. It finally gets whistled, and it's because of injury. Down is Acosta. He is rolling around close to the corner.
Dude, that's Tetsane.
And it's going to be yes, indeed, Tetsane, I should say, who's down there in the corner. It's going to be a timeout to check on him.
That's a big loss potentially for the Comets. He's so versatile. Talk about a guy who could really operate on all three levels of the team if you need to. He can play defense. We know he's a dominant midfielder. And then even you saw him leading the break as, you know, the main forward, the spear, you know, the tip of the spear on that earlier attack that eventually resulted in a goal for the ambush. Tetsane is a very versatile player, has kind of turned into a thorn in the side of the ambush over the last few seasons, so this could be a big loss if he's not able to return.
Let's see, Tetsane acquired again by Casey in the offseason, really to provide consistency for this team. They know him so well. We learned about that trade on MASLsoccer.com. You can check out MASLsoccer.com, your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League, all the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. And check out MASLsoccer.com. Good to see Tetsane on his feet. Looks like the play is going to be awarded at least a start from the box. Tetsane will make his way back to the bench. First of 2 meetings in 4 days between these two teams, and the first of 5 overall this season.
Always such a great rivalry between these two teams. It would be fun to see a big season from Frank Tayu and maybe even put these teams facing off in a playoff match.
That's the goal. The man defending the goal for the Comets, Ejimadu, having some trouble reading the boggle board there. Now it's launched downfield by Pereira. Spraying back toward Reggett. Barry came bursting through. Ends up with a loose ball and flushes it into the side shelf.
And who else but the man returning to St. Louis, Marcel Barry, the former ambush for the last 3 seasons, puts it in for his first goal as a Comet. And kind of a wild goal here, as it looked like the ambush had it defended well, but the ball just kind of bounced an odd way. Uzi Tayu is holding Zach Reggett back, and a sliding defensive move from Tayu. He thinks he's about to clear things up. What he actually does is he causes Will Eske to jump out of the way, which takes him out of position in front of Marcel Barry, which gave him a free lane to shoot the ball again. And it's a very surprising 3-0 lead, not because the Comets aren't a great team, but because they have not played to a higher level of the ambush to be up 3-0. It's just the ambush are making little mistakes.
Souza pouncing on this, held off by Hundelt, ends up waterfall to the ground, and does not get the whistle that he was so desperate for.
Almost gave up a penalty there here. The ambush right now giving up goals, giving up opportunities in the easiest ways possible. You got to be a difficult team to play against when you play great teams like the Comets, and right now you're being easy to play against.
We'll give a lot of credit to Hundelt there. Did enough to prevent the goal, did not do enough to warrant the whistle and the penalty that might have started to put this out of reach for the KC Comets. 3-0 with 2:40 left in the first. A lot of yellow brick roads still in front of us. Ambush, though, need to do something to re-inject confidence into the game. KC, they are at the controls of the ball and the scoreboard. Vandergriff. Scurrying to the bench is Souza. Pino, their new face. Back and forth with Ejimadu. Appearing on the wall, Pereira, not on the same page with Ramon Palmer. Briggs sniffs it out. Duduka has a pass blocked. Played by Ramirez off the wall. Pereira, who had the block, was waiting for it. Now Varela and James Thomas. Ejimadu diving off to his left, makes a stop on Thomas's rip. JT pokes it back through Hundelt. He'll say start over.
Just disappointing that it took till 1:44 left in the first to finally try the backup keeper of the Comets. If you got a backup keeper, you got to find a way to put the ball in the net.
Ooh, Uzi Tayu. That thing had a little English on it. Almost took him by surprise. Long ball by Ejimadu. Reggett tried to back down against Araujo. Almeida. Frank and Rafa. Staves off Acosta. SK brings it down. Uzi again, the quarterback. 109. Slithers one forward to Frank on the wall. Araujo! Oh, Ejimadu might have got a piece. Sprays wide. Uzi from the yellow line, poking through. Araujo cascades it back to him. Bump to Frank. Back to the defense. Tries to take it around Acosta. Ball away to Araujo. Try to get it set back up. Ends up with Acosta on a ricochet. 44 seconds left in the first. KC 1, St. Louis nothing. Tetsane first shift since we had to pause for injury. Looks no worse for wear. Goes back to Acosta, out of the fishbowl. 30 seconds. Friend in the corner. Windax toward Acosta. Set up top once again. Acosta taking his time. Inside, and how about that work there on the ground from Rion Marquez.
Just kind of an inevitable moment. You felt like when the Comets got the ball down there and you get that much possession, it feels like a goal is becoming inevitable. But man, that's just an absolute physical win by the Comets. Specifically, Rion Marquez is just leaning up against Araujo. He's got a little bit of a height advantage, a little bit of a size advantage, I should say. 6'4", 215 is what Marquez is listed at. On the other side for Araujo, listed at 5'9", 187. So that's a perfect mouse in the house kind of matchup for Rion Marquez, and he takes advantage of it, leans on Araujo, able to make the simple turn for the 4-0 lead.
Inside 10 seconds, Marcel Berry revving up KC one more time, 2-1, and he'll run out of time. KC 4, St. Louis nothing. Tough first quarter, but only a first quarter. We've got 3 more of them for you as the Ambush trying to come back. You're listening to St. Louis Ambush Soccer on your home for MASL Soccer, MASL TV.
Did you know that MSN is now offering player recruitment videos? We're offering everything from player profiles, highlight videos for in-game highlights, as well as college evaluations of the overall videos, and much more. Our packages include player profiles, where you can highlight your preferred positions, the club, the school, or league that you play in, your current contact of your coach, academics and accolades, and more. The highlight videos could be self-submitted, 15 to 30 clips that will be put into a 3 to 7 minute long video. Video review of your Huddle, VO, or other platforms that you might have video on, as well as for an additional charge, MSN can come out and film games for you to create those clips. Our coach evaluation process, which is also an additional charge, where we have college coaches from various levels across the United States that will review your game film and provide feedback on how to improve that film, as well as also evaluating your play and what you can improve on. To learn more, check below this video about all the packages and what we have to offer. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Start of the second. Ambush in these new black Axios jerseys, trying to climb back against the white-clad KC Comets. Joey Zanaboni, Matt Rocchio out here for you at the Family Arena in St. Charles to tell you about Wana Brands. Wana Brands is excited to partner with the Kansas City Comets and the St. Louis Ambush to provide the Wana I-70 series. The two teams play each other 5 times this season, and the winner of the series will take home the coveted Wana Trophy. The first 2 games occur opening weekend for the MASL. The second set of games occurred just before the new year, and the final game is in February. The I-70 series is presented by Wana.
Quite the start here in the first half for the Kansas City Comets. And the Ambush, a little bit rougher than you wanted here. Once you clip the red tape.
We got to.
I mean, you bring out the big scissors. You hope good things happen. Not exactly what you wanted to see in the first half. The offense at times was controlling the ball better, Joey, but man, the defense just making the little mistakes that cost the Ambush games last year, and right now are costing them this one early.
Well, and I'll tell you what, the passion is there. Certainly the
Absolutely.
score is not, but the passion was excellent between the first and the second quarter. Uzi Tayu was firing these guys up and trying to get them back on the same page as we look to make this comeback. Ball out of bounds, and they will rule up top on the gold line. KC with Tetsane. At the top of the bow, I should say. He is going to take it. Tetsane with 3 on the wall, anchored by Frank Tayu. Comets, those final few minutes of the first, just started to pour it on, trying to keep pouring it on. Lennis to Reagit. Didn't hit it all that cleanly. Uzi sliding out, helped, and now Reagit stoned by Paulo. Came sliding out after the initial scurry. Bumped over the top by SK. The King just outside the arc, trying to whirl through, and just every time he's around the ball. As Stefan Stokic told us, let him dictate it, just get in front, block, and disrupt. Tayu in the corner, centering. Varela came sliding through, could not reach it. Acosta, Varela, excellent hustle. Inside the gold line, Chili Willie. Chopped over to Frank. Araujo back at the center line as Uzi, Will, and Frank head to the bench. Thomas back on, Hulk back on. Briggs circulates to Thomas. Defense down deep by Hollyman Sturdy. Center circle, Briggs. Butter knifes one for Deduca. And the backup keeper, Ejimadu, comes to the edge of the box once again. Didn't have to face a ton of action. Kind of a surprise without Neto in there, scratched because of a hip injury. Ejimadu doing pretty well right now. Hulk on the foul on the way out.
Yeah, just 3 shots on goal for the Ambush so far tonight, and really only one of them really taxed Ejimadu, so it's not enough content in front of a backup keeper. You just want to give him shots to look at. You want to test him again. Only 10 MASL games, only 4 starts, his 5th career start, and he's been able to sit back on his laurels and really command most of this game. You gotta make him uneasy, Joey. Gotta throw bodies in front of him. Gotta make sure 4-time MVP's firing shots at him on a regular basis, and so far none of that's happened.
Ramon Palmer, miniature golf to Reagit. Stolen away by Briggs. Thomas down. Palmer giving to Barry. Misses on the shot. Reagit's shot blocked by Briggs. Cascaded away by Thomas. Ambush pushing out. Pereira pushing back in. Palmer with Reagit running the gold line. Gets redeposited in the back. KC up 4-0. 2.5 into the second quarter. The Family Arena in St. Charles. The spot tonight. We're back here on New Year's Eve, one of the biggest games of the season. And guess who will be visiting at 2 o'clock? These KC Comets. Get your tickets, stlambush.com and at ticketmaster.com. Souza, who had a goal in the first, swats that off the wall. Thomas comes crashing through, controlled by Paulo. Araujo slip and slides one. Varela forward. Tayu. The King paralleling here with Almeida. And some more switching off the bench. Uzi back on. Will SK in the center circle. I-70 series, first of 5. KC does have a home advantage this year. They've got 3 of the 5 games over at Cable Dummer. Sunday 6. MASL TV and CBS Sports Galazzo. Eric Bergrud, Nick Vasos, and the crew on the blue turf will have the call for you. Almeida. Vander Griff, former Ambush, foreheads that one out. Hamsters to the other side, Almeida. Ramirez trying to make things difficult, as is Souza. Hundelt finds a way out. Now SK finds a way through. Almeida slashes one off the wall. Frank Tayu patient. Souza just up and grabbed him. And Tayu tries to put the moves on. Fly swatted by Ramirez, grabbed by Hundelt. Had one block in the first quarter. Uzi to Frank. Look at those arms from Tetsane holding him. Now SK. Chili Willie stopped by Ejimadu. Flies up, gets a mitt to that. Uzi and SK try to resuscitate. SK came bobsledding through, and he's whistled for a foul.
SK trying to protest that he got the ball on that tackle. It was a little bit aggressive there, especially up against the wall. Those ones are risky. But finally, they're starting to test the backup keeper a little bit there as Frank and company got something going. That was a beautiful counterattack.
Little glimpse of more of that style the Ambush played last season. A lot of transition, a lot of go, go, go.
The pass by Uzi off the wall that set it off was really special because you know that kind of veteran of the indoor game knows how to play those angles.
Been to Ron Newman Cup finals with 3 different teams. Uzi Tayu, great to have him on this roster as well. James Thomas, a returner, who had an OT winner here last year.
That was special, wasn't it?
One of the greatest moments of his career, so special for him because he was coming back from Achilles surgery as well. Rehabbed and worked so hard, came back through last season, was really just a power play player, a spot player, a post up in front of the goal player. Looking like they're letting him run now in his second season back from that injury.
Yeah, it really is the forward striker spot really has to be the most interesting one for the Ambush coming back this season because obviously you have 4-time MVP Frank Tayu, but the return of Duke after his issues last year where he didn't play the whole season, and another year where JT Thomas can get comfortable.
Haliman connecting with Tetsane. Lennis. He goes down to his stomach, and Will Niamsi, another Ambush returner, whistled for the foul. It's a remade Ambush team, but the guys who have stayed with us for a few years, they're going to provide a huge, huge part of what we think is going to be a really successful season. Would be huge to battle back tonight. Down 4-0, 5+ into this second quarter. Tetsane. Lecia to Reagan. Well done to anticipate SK. Now Thomas ripped down on the loose ball. Make sure you subscribe today on MASL TV on YouTube. You'll find game rebroadcasts, MASL shows, highlights, and more. And you can get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on X. Varela wins it back. Tayu to Almeida. Headed it back toward the King. Disrupted by Palmer. Swoop downfield. Araujo lets it run.
Good job there by Lucas Almeida. Just trying to set up Frank Tayu, but Almeida, despite the age, led the team in assists with 17 last year. And you saw they started him up at the forward spot next to Tayu, kind of combining those passer, scorer, but both veterans up front there for the Ambush. We'll see if that can create some goals later on here.
Frank twirling and hammering one. These Comets, though, they're doing a great job to front him.
You know, we're going to have a lot of conversations this year, Joey, about the accessory habits of one Frank Tayu.
Palmer took it away. Uzi Tayu came in from behind. Palmer down. And this will be the first blue card of the season.
And wanting to avoid any kind of delay of game, as they haven't changed in the rule book this year, Uzi will head studiously to the penalty box in under 15 seconds.
Crew chief is Shane Butler. Referee is Brian Martin. Tripping is the official designation on Uzi Tayu. And after a bad giveaway, Tayu doing what he could to try to recover the ball for the Ambush. I'm sure he felt that was a little bit light to get a blue card for, but nonetheless, Lennis over the ball, 2 minutes on the power play for KC, trying to extend a 4-0 advantage. Tetsane and Lennis play with it. De-escalated Reagan in those orange boots. Tetsane. Oh, Reagan tries to squeeze it through. Lennox off the wall, chested down by Hundelt. You can tell they were looking for Marquez in deep. He scored the last goal of the first quarter for KC. Gives chase on the ball.
You're an Ambush defender, and you see Zach Reagan kind of in the periphery attacking. Do you notice his hair or his shoes first? Which one? Which bright flash catches your eye quicker?
I noticed that MASL Rookie of the Year award he won here at the end of the last decade first, of course, Matt.
Also very shiny.
To the shiny one. Reagan bangs that off the upper junction of post and bar. Clipped the top of the bar inside of it. Ambush lucky to escape a 5-0 deficit. Acosta.
50 seconds left to kill.
Niamsi crowbars it off the wall, falls on top of Lennis. And quickly over. This red-clad refereeing crew trying to say, hey, nothing dirty about it. Just over a half a minute left on the kill for the ambush. Tetsane. Once again, Reagan in the corner. Pulls that one. Paulo able to poke it. In front of Costa. Slammed it just wide. Tetsane won't.
Wow. What a screamer for Tetsane.
Elf on the shelf.
I thought Acosta had buried that one with a beautiful little give and go run. But man, what an absolute screamer from Tetsane. He makes it 5-0.
5-0 Comets. We go to the media timeout in the second quarter.
Your Oakland University Golden Grizzlies.
Drives to the basket, and it's in!
The biggest games on the blacktop.
4-3. Of course! Borowski from 3!
We need you there.
Golden Grizzlies fans, get out your dancing shoes.
Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos. We are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
5-0. Ambush with a steep and deep hold tonight to climb back from a KC Comets team that scored 15 times on the power play last year. Gets its first power play goal of this year to run their lead to 5-0 at the 6:18 mark of the second. We are happy to be with you on MASL TV. Make sure you catch MASL Monday, every Monday night on MASL TV and on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Bosavansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. JT Thomas restarts and goes through Will Niamsi. Duduka downfield, heads one at the yellow line. Kansas City playing very confidently right now. Christian Andreos pieces back through Guerrero Pino. Matt, what can we do to get back in this game?
You got to get the ball to Frank Tayu. And more than that, if you notice, and we'll see if it happens the next time that Tayu touches the ball. The Comets are doubling, they're putting a man in front, and behind that guy, so like you said, they have an extra man to block shots, and they're not moving the ball, the ambush, to the open man. When you double Tayu, somebody's open. Get the ball to him.
Barry wins it. Palmer shoots it. Araujo sliding in front of it. Ball skitters away in the corner. Araujo brings it down. MASL fans, take out those phones and scan that QR code. Right now, we've got a great tie-in with Tucanos. And make sure you get this shot to experience it live right now, the QR code on the right-hand side of your screen. This is Hulk, Uzi. Tayo was serving the penalty that the Comets capitalized on. Probing effort for Duduka. Now Almeida gets a rip away the ambush to get the first goal of the season! Varela, the fella, tucks it in under a sliding Ejimadu. The St. Louis Ambush are on the scoreboard for the first time in 2024-2025.
And of course, Joey, it comes on a possession where they retained the ball, they lost it quickly, but then they immediately got it back, a couple of quick passes, and then Varela just slides it under the outstretched hands of Ejimadu. They want to retain that possession. They had a quick turnover, but again, you get that counter press going, you get the turnover back in your attacking third, and all of a sudden you're running back the other way, a couple quick passes, and you got to go going the other way. That's what the Ambush needed.
Varela, that's one. Still a ways to go, but it feels a little bit better now. Frank Tayu in pursuit after Acosta went down.
The assist, by the way, to Lucas Almeida. So after leading the team last year with 17, I was talking about that earlier, he starts off with number 1.
Oh, Araujo, his hatchet, didn't quite get it, but neither did Reggett. Heads up play by Paulo.
Second time Araujo's had a ball not do what he thought it was going to when he was trying to clear it and almost lead to a goal. Ooh.
Now Acosta almost takes that one away on the pass from Niamsi. SK recovers it. Frank.
You cannot get your first goal of the season and immediately let them score one off an unforced error like that one. Ambush need to clean this up, get number 2.
Araujo. Uzi hammers it off the body of Acosta. It was pretty close to his hand. Pereira. That's good synchronicity between Almeida and Paulo to get it loose. Pereira was trying to disrupt. Now Hundelt peels it back to Uzi. Ejimadu tipped it, dives back, and keeps it out.
That is a nuts save by Ejimadu. Not necessarily
misplayed it.
Not necessarily the initial save, but the Jordan-esque switching from his left hand to his right hand to keep it off of the touchline. That was amazing.
And then they've kind of jumped the gun on the goal horn. Fans were cheering. That's all right. 5-1 we remain. Ejimadu.
Wow.
Turned disaster into highlight reel.
That was nuts. Great shot there by Uzi, though. Almost became the first Tayu on the score sheet. I don't think anybody else would have had that as Uzi being the first Tayu on the score sheet tonight.
Lennis. Marquez off the Tucano's Brazilian grill sign and ultimately kangarooed out over the KC Comets bench. If you're participating in the Tucano's family cam, morphing yourself into a Brazilian animal, share it on socials and tag STL Ambush for your chance to win tickets to an MASL game.
The groaning you hear is the Ambush almost getting away with an attack there that could have busted them forward for another goal. And there's the highlight, Joey. Wow, what a save by Ejimadu.
Vandergriff just takes the pitching wedge and sends it off the side for the next 3 games for the Ambush. 3 of them in December. 15th at 2 against Milwaukee Wave our next. Sidekicks and then Comets coming later in the month. Duduka, Turnage. Lennis pops it up. Tumbles back for Araujo. Smacks it hard and high.
Can't think of many goals the Ambush have gotten off those high volleys, Joey. I say, play it off your chest, recycle that possession, try again another way.
Reagan. Pressure from behind by Araujo. Palmer refeeding Reagan. Over the top. Not quite over the glass, though. Off its hair, it comes on down, and the subsequent scramble for the ball generates the whistle. Pino against Duduka. Pino on the foul. The MASL All-Star Game is headed to Utica on February 12th, 2025. Make sure you're with us and following the MASL on social media for updates on tickets, rosters, and more. DeDuca. Less than 2 to go, second quarter. Comets 5, Ambush 1.
Another goal here for the Ambush would be huge. 3-goal deficit, nothing to it going into the second half.
Pino sprays one back. SK to Almeida. Once again, too much helium.
Controlling the ball like they want to more. Now we get Frank Tayu back on with a lot of the starting lineup. JT Thomas, the only non-starter out there right now. It's a pretty good person to have out there, though, if you're the Ambush and you're trying to score one more in this final minute 20.
Roll out to Acosta.
Joey, do you think the Time Dolphin had a good offseason?
Uzi, unfortunately, whistled for a foul here as he sends Marquez down to the turf. Comets hoping that more and more water gets squeegeed off that Time Dolphin.
I just figured we're always asking the Dolphin how much time left there is, but we never ask them, how are you doing? I thought that was important.
You speak Dolphin?
A little bit here and there.
I believe you'd say it. That specific phrase that you're wanting to ask. Tayu goes down, and Acosta has a word with these refs on the way out. He goes back to the bench after committing the foul. Niamsi. Billiards. Thomas. 50 seconds. Araujo, the safety valve up top. Lets it breathe outside to King Tayu. 40 seconds. Araujo. Lobbying. Wanted Thomas. It's good defense there. Pereira tracks back. Sticks the cuticle up. Ramirez off the board. 26 seconds. SK sludges it away. Tetsane. Pereira with 15. Tetsane, who's got the lone goal of the quarter for KC. Marcel Berry. 5 seconds. Comets squeegeeing the last of this water off the Time Dolphin, and they'll take us to half. 30 minutes into the new season. Comets 5, Ambush 1. Julio Varela gets the Ambush on the board. We'll relive that moment, tell you more about the upcoming season after our halftime intermission. This is Ambush Soccer on MASL TV.
Still get it done.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
And as we launch what is sure to be another epic MASL campaign, every week I'll be bringing you all the latest from the league and have only got 5 minutes to do it, so let's go.
Nunez slides it through. Shot, and we got a goal! Chihuahua Savage pull one back for the first lead of the game with 1 minute and 42 seconds. What a tremendous goal! The Chihuahua Savage are your 2024 Major Arena Soccer League Ron Newman Cup champions.
That's where we left off last season. The Chihuahua Savage took down the KC Comets to capture their second consecutive MASL championship.
The Chihuahua Savage back-to-back champions of the MASL, and they are showing no signs of slowing down. In my opinion, they are a class above the rest of the league, with Diego Reynoso back, with Hugo Puentes back. The team is reloaded and primed for a third championship.
But every team will be gunning for them this year, and the opposition loaded up in the offseason.
Lots of player movement this season, but none bigger than what's going on with the St. Louis Ambush. Frank Tayu signs with the Ambush this season, along with his brother Uzi, along with many other pieces that have made the Ambush the offseason champs. Playoffs is the bare minimum for St. Louis this year.
For the full list of player transactions, visit maslsoccer.com. But a few of these significant moves included Vinny Dantas to Utica, Guerrero Pino to KC, and Empire had a huge offseason, adding Defender of the Year Robert Palmer, among others.
Can't talk about the offseason, too, without talking about the Empire Strikers. Marco Fabian is back for his second year, and they've totally rebuilt, too. New coach, new players. Again, another team where playoffs is the bare minimum.
The league has also realigned into a single division this season, which will make things even more exciting when it comes to the best teams making the playoffs.
Quick note, Monterey not back this year, but what it gives us is a beautiful 12-team single table, which opens up all sorts of possibilities come playoff time. We're not beholden to regions anymore, West versus East. Anyone can play anyone, and the matchups are endless.
And this is a very big deal. The league this week announced a new agreement with CBS Sports Golazo to air 40 MASL games this season.
Alex, this deal with Golazo is one of the most significant deals we've had in the 3+ years now that myself, Keith Tozer, and Shep Messing took over running the Major Arena Soccer League. Golazo is not only a great network, but it's also a great soccer network. We were thrilled last year, starting off with a couple of games, getting a few more during the regular season. Then they took the playoffs, and to go from that to a 40-game regular season package, to me, that's amazing.
And that package will also include myself and producer Phil Lavanco appearing every Monday night on Golazo with MASL Monday. We've only got 5 minutes here, so some other rapid-fire news to tell you about. The League All-Star Game will be held at the Adirondack Bank Center in Utica, February 12th. Onua Obasi will be the new coach for the Empire Strikers. Eddie Puskarich was recently named the new head coach of the Texas Outlaws. And the San Diego Sockers have a new home as they will begin life in the gorgeous new Front Wave Arena. Producer Phil has some brave predictions for the season ahead.
So we all love predictions, right? You want to hear some predictions from me? Sure. Frank Tayu's going to win MVP. He's going to be the Golden Boot winner, which means he's going to be the MVP. Oh, and a Ron Newman Cup winner you're asking for. I've got San Diego over the Savage. No 3-peat for Chihuahua.
We shall see, Phil. Now, for opening weekend, 2 games, both featuring St. Louis and Kansas City. It's the Battle of Missouri. Last season, very different results for these squads. KC finished 3rd in the East and made it all the way to the league final, while St. Louis missed the playoffs entirely. Head-to-head last year, it was the Comets dominating, taking 5 of the 6 games that they played each other. But as mentioned, St. Louis made some serious moves in the offseason, adding the Tayu brothers, Dylan Hundelt, and Mo Ndiaye. They mean business, while KC will try to take the next step this year. They bring back Cole Golden Boot winner Zach Reget, re-signed Nacho Flores and Lucas Souza, and added defender Guerrero Pino from San Diego. And that is going to wrap up this week's show. But just a reminder to stay up to date on everything that's going on in the MASL all throughout the season. Be sure to check out the league's official social media outlets. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Looks great.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Take control. Make a healthy change. Maintain a healthy weight. Exercise regularly. Don't smoke or use smokeless tobacco. Eat a healthy diet. Limit alcohol. Protect yourself from the sun and avoid tanning beds. Protect against sexually transmitted infections. Get screening tests. For more 8 Ways tips, visit siteman.woostel.edu/take control.
Da Silva to Almeida. Little flip! Oh! Smacked off the line! No, it's not!
What a performance from Robbie Christo, and what a nifty finish.
The wait is over. The 2025 MASL season is here. Bigger and better than ever. Get ready for high-speed action, jaw-dropping goals, and fierce competition as your favorite teams battle it out on the field. With intense rivalries, unforgettable moments, and new stars rising, the MASL delivers excitement every week. Get your tickets now and be part of the excitement, because this season, the action is non-stop. Indoor Indoor soccer fans, it's time to unleash a giant leap for fandom. Introducing MASL Indoor Soccer Fantasy Football. Build your dream team, invite your friends, and create your own draft league, all for free. Draft and trade players and win bragging rights as your team dominates the league. With MASLI Football, you're not just a fan, you're part of the action. Go to MASLI Football to sign up, get started, and play.
Less than 2 minutes away from the start of the second half at the Family Arena in St. Charles. Comets with a 5-1 lead over our ambush, but St. Louis starting to gel together as that first half went on. Comets 12-7 on shots. Ambush did block more shots. Each keeper 4 saves, only 1 penalty. The KC Comets team that, well, they didn't score much in the second. They used a power play. They've got themselves 1 goal off of 1 blue card on Uzi Tayu.
Look at you, Joey, finding the positives in the game. I love that.
Guilty as charged here, Matt. There's always a silver lining somewhere. And I think, as Phil Levanco said, Frank Tayu is going to win the Golden Boot this year, so there must be some goals in his boot in the second half.
You'd think there would be. I mean, he's getting the ball enough, but again, the Kansas City Comets is doing an incredible job. You know, Stefan Stokic, when we asked him about it, he didn't seem too bothered. He knew what he was going to say. The way he put it was, the ambush got a lot of new players, but we know what they're about. And so far, they've done a good job stopping them.
Well, Marcel Berry was in an ambush jersey the last couple of years. He scored there. It was after Michael Lennis set up Acosta for the first goal of the MASL season. Berry burying things. We've seen that before at Family Arena. He's still got a bright future out there in KC. Rian Marquez is, well, he's had a bright past with KC. He's probably got a bright future as well.
He sunned him on that goal, Joey.
He was really, really strong.
Woo!
And then Tetsane winning stages in that power play. Man, a screamer, top shelf, beautiful goal for a KC team that's been the better side, but St. Louis, as I said, I thought we got better as the first half went on, and right there, Julio Varela gets us on the board for the first time in the 2024-2025 season. Doctor, what's your prescription for the second half?
Goals. You need goals, and of course, you got to keep getting the ball to Frankie Tayu, but let's talk about Chili Willie Eske. We're expecting different things from Will Eske, but the way that Coach Locker put it is, you'd like to get the production that he had last year, just add on Frankie Tayu's onto the top of it. Instead of Frank Tayu replacing the Eske production and then Eske getting some more from a different kind of role than he had last year, he needs to add to it. So Will Eske needs to get involved. This is usually when we saw him take over. Ambush were down, we needed 2 big goals, and Chili Willie Eske was the way that we were going to come up with them last year. The question here, with the additions, again, of Uzi Tayu, who's looked solid defensively, of Frank Tayu, the king, can Chili Willie step in as the second or third wheel and make a big play today in the second half for the ambush? That's the question.
Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter. Ambush Comets. First game of the season across the entire MASL. We're happy to be the only game in MASL land this evening. These two teams meeting again Sunday at 6. Make sure you catch it right here on MASL TV as well as the CBS Sports Golazo Network. Thank you to Alex and Phil for a great halftime show catching us up. And Shelly, part of that halftime show as well. We appreciate all of their contributions. The King in his throne room, his new throne room. He's going to start us up in this second half. Ambush going right to left across your YouTube screen. And Frenchie swishing one beautifully. Hundelt poking Tayu. All business against Vandergriff. SK rescues it. Hundelt got a shot off, but hit into Andreas. Ball gets popped over the top. Niamsi heads down to Ramirez, challenged by Acosta. Ramirez does a little ice skating. Niamsi picks it up. Almeida, he had the assist on the Varela goal. Lofty, nice chest by Tayu. Chili Willie, floored by Vandergriff. Whistle does come out. Chad Vandergriff spent 3 seasons with the ambush. Local kid. Couldn't really call him a kid, I guess. He's played the most games on this Comets team. He's played more games than anybody on the field outside of Frank Tayu, who's played more than any in league history. Ambush through the escape hatch. Paulo zips one off the board. Tayu. Rafa lets it run a bit. Uzi trapped at the equator by Ramirez. Spin cycles him, the 35-year-old. It's a pool cue into the middle. Deflects out to Araujo. Bends it off the board for Almeida. Easy steal though for KC. SK, excellent on the turf. The sword fishes through. Ambush dominating possession through the first 90 seconds of this third quarter.
I don't know how many players are that willing to just go sliding into the wall the way Chili Willy SK is, but man, crucial tackle there. Gets the ball, and we'll see if they can do anything with the possession he won.
Niamsi and Hundelt. James Thomas off the wall. Ambush on the south side of a 5-1 deficit. A squeeze through pass deflected by Lennis. Picked up on the board by Rian Marquez. Acosta, he was the player of the first half. A goal and 2 assists. Slides one, Hollyman. Varela and him get tangled. Hollyman on the floor. Ambush won a whistle. Tweety Bird will blow. Well, Hollyman down on his derriere, trying to pincer that ball. Can't do that. Niamsi forward looking for Duduka. Niamsi, nice swipe. Hulk turning, boarding. Ultimately hits off Lennis in the box, gets ejected. Sprays to the penalty box area where only the Ambush have visited tonight. Uzi's blue card, somewhat controversial in that first half. Nice footwork by Paulo. Pino came bulldozing on Duduka and sent him down to the green mattress. Pino won a couple of MASL Cups, Ron Newman Cups with San Diego. Got a brand new facility out there, and that's where the playoffs will be this season. Thanks again to Alex and Phil for telling us about this new playoff format. Top 8 teams, regardless of conference, all of that all goes out the window. Top 8 in the league. You go out to one venue in San Diego for a quarterfinal and a semifinal round, then teams will host home games in the best-of-3 championship series.
And Joey, I think there was a lot of conversation and consternation, as
Almeida.
The carpet snaps up on Almeida.
Tetsane to Palmer. Barry had to go off his thigh, and Almeida comes back in front of the bookshelf. Ricochets it off Barry for Paulo to grab.
What an incredible save from Almeida. Beating the hustle man himself, Marcel Barry, on the hustle to stop that goal. That's an incredible play from Lucas Almeida. And if the Ambush make this game close, that could be one of the biggest plays of this night.
And you were talking about some consternation, Matt. What was that about?
Consternation earlier that I've completely forgotten about.
That's Reagan.
Joey, I live in the present. I'm not trying to get harped on what's happening in the past. What are you talking about?
Bobbers it up over the wall.
You need to move on.
Ambush restart.
Something like Joey's inability to focus on consternation. We're trying to talk about soccer. Jeez. Unbelievable.
Diopsy in the corner. Frenchie with Tayu posting up and JT down low. Well, better consternation than something that sounds like consternation. You know where I'm going with this, Matt.
Constellation?
That's right. Big astronomy guys up here. Telescopes out for you for the first game of the MASL season. Hundelt strings this one to the fans. They have come out tonight, and we want to back on New Year's Eve. We've got a balloon drop. We've got a party at 2 o'clock. We've got the best way in the St. Louis area to say goodbye to 2024, hello to 2025. Get those tickets for our New Year's Eve game against KC right now, stlambush.com, ticketmaster.com, and right here at the Family Arena box office.
We've hit that part of the game, Joey, where I missed the chat.
That's right. We're without the Twitch chat. We're Twitch chatless.
It's active. I checked it out. There is a Twitch chat, but it's only emojis.
Huh. So there are people who are able to react.
Yeah. Your favorites are hanging out there, Joey. Don't worry.
Hopefully blowing me the wink heart kiss emoji.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
All right, Ujo in the center circle. Now you'll have to translate all these emojis for me here soon, Matt.
It's cute. You think I know what they mean?
Ujo loses it to Acosta. Varela takes it back.
And the ambush did not win a lot of plays in the midfield last year. That sequence right there is huge going forward.
Duduka back healing, wanted somebody down there. Instead, it's just Marquez.
Joey, they're not giving enough runners to Duduka. He's a classic hold up forward with his size and just his strength. And they're not. You need runners off hold up play. And right now he's only getting one or two, and they're not close enough. He's trying to flick that one thing, and there's a runner behind him, and no one's running.
Vandergriff holds the ball in midfield for KC. Duduka, after missing all last year, what a warrior he's been to battle back from multiple injuries in his ambush career. He's going to get subbed off as Almeida commits a foul. John A., Will SK's brother, he gets his first shift of this second half as DJ Prue comes in with it.
Has the hair gotten better on John A. SK? I have to ask.
Well, hopped off the plane at LAX with a dream in my cardigan.
Marcel Berry making an incredible play on the ball there. How about that, guys?
This is the part where Matt really takes over the controls of the game. Because I'm jumped in the cab. Here I am for the first time in 2020, 24, 24, 25.
We didn't get a chance to really talk about Dylan Hundelt, the new St. Louis native returning to the ambush.
He's played well, I thought, on the defensive end. It's the kind of place where you don't have to feel too much pressure and get nervous. Because DJ Prue will play that Jay-Z song. Chances on! Duduka just won for Manu! Swatting things like a police department pickleball game. Duduka, oh man. Wide receiver work. Ejimadu leaps out in front of Varela. Gets a shoulder for it. How about that from this backup KC tender? There's a man down for the KC Comets. Ray gets spills. He'll quickly get back to his feet.
Varela, I'm surprised he didn't get a whistle on that little shoulder as he went up for the ball. Because usually, even if you're trying to make a play on the ball, like he clearly was, if the goaltender beats you as cleanly as Ejimadu there, usually you get a whistle on that one. Kind of surprised Varela got away with that one. Joey, I thought that was one of your best renditions yet.
Well, thank you very much. There were a couple notes that I hit. They say you got to hit at least 40% of the notes to perform at the Grand Ole Opry. So I'm.
You guys sing. Joey acts like he can't sing on this thing, but when we're driving home, a high C above C. It's absolutely incredible.
Drinking high C's for you.
He's got the Evita note in there somewhere. It's incredible.
8:02. Nobody's scored yet in the second half.
Anybody out there got a high C? I'd kill for a high C.
Somebody get Matt Rocchio a sugar rush. Almeida tries to sugar rush this one forward. KC instead remounting the attack after Palmer had the takeaway. Tetsane gets it back. Orchestrates Marquez off of his right hip. Spills out. Araujo. You shall not pass. SK from the equator. Chile. Thomas. This hit slightly. Dragged it a bit under the foot. Tetsane on the block.
This is the goal-scoring outfit up front right now for the ambush. SK, Taiyu, JT Thomas. When these three guys are out here, 5-1 game, you got to put one in the back of the net.
7:22 left in the third. We go to the media timeout. Comets 5, Ambush 1. This is St. Louis Ambush Soccer on MASL TV.
Looks great. Oh.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos. We are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Bring your ticket stub and receive 1 free core service. See you soon, and go Ambush!
Just over 7 left in the third quarter. Ambush on the comeback trail against the Comets, opening game of the 2024-2025 MASL season. And I just proved to the fans, Matt, that my flossing skills have not improved even 1 inch.
Yeah. I saw Joey floss and immediately called his dentist. That was terrifying.
Well,
I'm worried about
my dentist said it's the one time a year that he flosses, so let him do it any way he wants, right?
I'm worried about your gum health after that flossing exercise. Joey, technically you're correct. They are on the comeback side because they are the last team to score a goal in this game. But scoreless here in the second half for both sides.
Nobody yet able to crack things. And there was a slowdown in the second quarter as well. 2 goals between the two sides. 4 of them in the first quarter gave Kansas City a lead that it does not seem keen to relinquish. John ASK on the latest foul. Barry turns on the Jets around Thomas. Down low, Marquez peels it back. SK sticks a boot back and blocks Vandergriff. Sends it back through past Tayu. Grabbed by Marquez off the board. He and Tayu in a good battle. Ball pop up off the laces of Thomas to the fans.
Seems a little selfish for them not to want to share the lead a little bit, don't you think?
Oh, well.
Good neighbors and all
it's a virtue, isn't it? Come on. Be generous. Give us another couple of goals before we start the fourth.
Come on. Hog the lead the whole game. We invite you over here for a little game of soccer, and that's how you treat us?
Remember the Ambush in KC on the Blue Turf on Sunday.
First game on Galazzo. How about that? That's going to be a fun broadcast.
Bezos Bergerud.
Oh, those guys are on it? Never mind.
I won't tell him you said that, Matt.
the dialed-in ears of Eric Bergerud definitely heard that.
Varela dials one over to Almeida. Araujo as we slip under 6. Ski ball to Duca. Leaving Varela. There's your runner.
There's the runner you need off to Duca. I mean, it wasn't that high pace, and it was still pretty far away from the goal, but at least it was how you build it up. Here it is again.
Ooh, Duca leaving for Almeida. Swiped away by Ejimadu. Shot by Varela. Blocked by Lennis. Ball comes tumbling down just outside the box. Ejimadu's head. Through Andreos, back to midfield. Araujo and Varela.
I'm not sure why Hulk reached for the ball with his hands there. Kind of glad he was short of it.
Araujo and Varela. 5:15.
Ejimadu, by the way, I mean, he hasn't made the actual catching saves that you want that make your life easy, but man, these swatting saves that he's making have saved this game for the Comets.
Almeida!
There's another one!
By him again, but this one will make it 5-2, the second for Varela!
Big number 96 in his first game in an Ambush jersey, Julio Varela. A late signing, added late, and he's coming in handy early this season. The first easy goal of the season for the Ambushes. They had to really work for these last ones. Again, you get the runner off to Duca. He sets it up to Almeida. Almeida with the setup. Another slap away from Ejimadu. Like I said, you want to see those catching saves. They make your life easier. And that one you saw it. The quick rebound. Almeida again. It looked like it might have been a shot, but he was right to the foot of Varela, and it's a 5-2 game. Another assist for Lucas Almeida. Again, 17 to lead the team last year, and a huge start for the season for the Ambush and for Varela, making this game a little bit closer here with 5 minutes to play in the third.
St. Louis, a remade roster, 8 very impactful players added in the offseason. Varela, really the last one. He and Pollo Cortez coming in kind of in the last minute for the Ambush before the season started. Pollo is going to be with us middle of this month. And we've got somebody else with us on X. Who do we got here, Matt?
Eric Berger tagging me on Twitter, LOL. I believe he might have heard my comment. Of course, an incredible broadcast. If you're going to start off Galazzo, what better rivalry in the league to do it with than with the Ambush and the Comets? And honestly, what better broadcast team to do it with other than us? Obviously, Eric and Nick would be the next best to do it. So I cannot wait
You're always
for
generous there,
the
Rocky.
national and international fans of indoor soccer to be exposed to this league and this incredible rivalry being broadcast incredibly by those two guys coming up this weekend.
And we've got a Galazzo game, I believe, February 28th.
Yes, we do. Get a little extra time. We get a little extra time in February, and they said, you know what, let's give them a game.
Yeah, 40 total MASL games. We'll have one in February for you from the Family Arena on CBS Sports Galazzo Network this season. Big news. This rapidly expanding league.
Yeah, we'll be facing off against the Tayu's former team, Utica City. They'll have 2 home games on the Galazzo Network this year.
Frank DeLucas tried a diagonal down low to Will SK.
Almeida looking for the hat trick of assists here.
Off the wall, might do it.
Almost had it.
Ejimadu, though, comes sliding out, thwarts SK.
Joey, when was that our first Wallace scorer? Oh, be still my beating heart.
Matt ready to go into hysterics at any second. Acosta. The snakes around Tayu. Downfield finds Marquez. Cut off by Uzi. Give back Tetsade. And this is mishit by Ramirez. That's that famous anti-gravity chamber. Way up.
Joey, I also have some bad news coming in from Twitter. You've been outpunned by the St. Louis Ambush Twitter account already.
Uh-oh.
As they say, that goal by Julio Varela makes it Tulio Varela.
Ooh, I like that.
You've been outpunned right out of the gate by the social media staff. I'm sorry, sir.
Well, it can only go up from here this season, right, Matt?
Hey, we all need goals in life. Much like the Ambush do here in the third, we all need goals.
Little adjustment in the goal for Paulo. And now he helps out to orchestrate this up the wall just by Duduka. Ejimadu to the center circle. Tulio on the header. Ramirez pops it up. Reget at the bottom of his boot to Acosta. In Kansas City, Haliman, Tetsane, Acosta in the back. Ramirez, the wild card in the middle. Reget way deep. Tetsane. One of 5 different goal scorers in the first half for KC. Again, 4 of those did come in the first, so they're pushing about 30 minutes with only 1 goal on the board.
Yeah, since the second, Joey, the Ambush now leading this game 2-1. Trying to do my best Joey Zanaboni halftime impression.
Good breakdown. Uzi Tayu picking it up. Tayu, not sure that was exactly what he wanted to do. Paulo.
Not sure that was what he wanted to do.
Acosta and Ramirez combining off the wall. Uzi getting back. Acosta.
Wow!
What a shot.
Oh, Lord. I don't know how you survive a push from the King Frank Tayu. The big man, over 6'1", 200 pounds. He nudges you off the ball, and somehow Acosta stays on it and then rifles one in the upper 90. Short post. That's one of the most impressive goals you'll see this entire season.
2 goals, 2 assists for Acosta. They look at it courtesy of Window World. And you saw Uzi Tayu.
Paulo went the opposite way, too.
John A. trying to put it out.
Paulo went right. Paulo went to his right. Acosta went skinny on the left side of the goaltender. That is one of the more insane, slim margin goals you'll see this season. And Acosta has been putting on a show since early on in the first quarter tonight.
He's the star of the game right now. Will SK disrupts the pass. Almost gets to seal in front of the keeper. Ejimadu stops him after a feed from Tayu. And Lennis cleans up the loose change. Almeida able to parabola it back in, but it gets caught by Ejimadu.
Can you imagine right now if we would have had some of these moments of contact between the Ambush and the Comets goalkeeper? Can you imagine if it was Neto back there?
Nice hitter by Hook down, Almeida! Spins it in! Lucas Almeida! Finding holes like he's naming Shia LaBeouf movies.
absolutely huge for the veteran Lucas Almeida. He's now been involved on all 3 of the goals for the St. Louis Ambush. It's first 2 assists, and now he gets a goal on this one. The hold-up play from Will Eske. Again, you got the big play coming in from deep from another new ambush. Frank Tayu's trying to pressure the ball. Will Eske, though, always is going to be that man pressuring the ball. You see here a bad pass here. A giveaway is going to come from the Comets, and then you're going to see they're going to jump on it and finally make that play. That was huge from the ambush to get another goal here. 6-3, you immediately get the one back that you just gave up. And again, Lucas Almeida posted up his man, got position. It wasn't exactly the physical domination that Rian Marquez showed you earlier in the game, but nonetheless, getting a goal in the box like that is big time for Lucas Almeida in the ambush to keep it at a 3-goal game.
Credit Hundell for heading it forward. Goal and 2 assists for Almeida. 60 seconds left in the third. Ambush trying to creep back within 2. Varela wants 3. Got interrupted by Edgy Madu, edge of the box. Deficit certainly feels more manageable now. Long ball for Uzi, battling against Zach. Reget pinches it onto the corner, right to Thomas. Reget wants it back. Palmer takes it inside the gold line. 30 seconds from the end of the quarter. Oh, Paulo over Reget. Drops the anvil to get it away. Vandergriff comes out with a take. It's turned by Reget and hamsters in. Oh!
And you're going to have to go back to the mistake by Uzi Tayu. That's a heartbreaker for the ambush.
With just 20 ticks left in the third, Vandergriff resuscitates a chance, and Reget somehow whiskers it painstakingly over the line.
It's just so many turnovers by the ambush defense throughout this game, and they haven't been the reason that you've gotten bit yet. And it finally came back to bite you. And it's just unfortunate when a newbie, a guy who's won MASL Defensive Player of the Year before, in Uzi Tayu is the one making that mistake. That's a heartbreaker for the ambush, but you can't be giving them easy shots like that.
Scores now. Barry trying to add 2. The final seconds. Ramirez with 3 seconds left.
You gotta
Hammers one home.
Kidding me. Another one. It might have been even more impressive than Acosta's. Throw out the one I thought you said that was going to be the upper 90 to the short post to the right side. Throw that one out.
Well, 2 goals in 17 seconds. Comets 8, Ambush 3 at the end of the third. We are looking like we're going to the fourth with the Ambush equaling their largest deficit of the game. SK! Oh, Ejimadu! He gets a glove up as that one almost rocketed in under the bar.
I think if the Ambushers do that, like for the rest of the fourth quarter, they might get like 3 or 4 goals.
See if they try it again early in the fourth. Need to make up 5 on MASL TV.
Sacker down by the end line. Puts us across. Lose your eye! And just like that, 1-1. Now Elders may look to take a shot. He does, and he buries it! Steps up, and just like that, Reed Dennis comes up big. Lose your eye, 1-on-1. Lose your eye. Oh, he'll be taken down inside the box.
Knocked back in. Nationals got it. Bicycle kick for a goal!
Now Sacker. Sacker into the 18. Sacker shot. That goes off the goalkeeper's glove into the net. 2-1 here in the 32nd. This one played in. That's a good ball. And that one goes in. And just like that, the Nationals now have a 1-0 lead. Walensky puts his far post. One-touch opportunity. And what a great goal that was.
Joaquin Beatty of the Ohio League.
Look at that shot from Sevy Roy. My goodness, Sevy Roy with a left-footed banger.
Start of the fourth. Family Arena in St. Charles. Backstoppers ball toss. We've got the Tucano's Brazilian Grill. Pictures popping up on the big screens as well. $13 million in renovations to this facility this past offseason. It looks great. Ambush looked great for a while in the third, but let down at the end of it. Comets struck twice with 20 seconds remaining and 3 seconds remaining, and now have a healthy 8-3 advantage. They led by as many as 5 at the outset of the second. Ambush got one back late in the second quarter, and then in the third, things started well. Got back within 6-3 before the wheels started to come off. Going to be hard to bounce back from that, but you know that the passion is there, and we saw SK have that great shot at the end of the third quarter. Talking with Jamie Swanner, good to have him back on the bench as well. And like you said, Matt, with his shot, we've got to be aggressive.
They absolutely have to be. And one thing you can look back on is there were 5 goals scored across both teams in the last 5 minutes or so of the game, of the third quarter, I should say. So, I mean, you're down 5. You can score 5 quickly in indoor soccer. There's no doubt about it. But you're not doing it right now. You're not stopping the Comets. Anytime you open the game up and try to score some goals, the Comets are busting back and getting you back for a couple as well. So it's still a big, big deficit for the Ambush to overcome. The offense started looking better, but it's just they gave up too many easy chances to the Comets. Not at the same time. Again, the goal from Acosta, the last goal right there at the very end are insane short post, upper 90, just howitzers. But nonetheless, the actual attempts and how the attempts get set up, that's far too easy for the Ambush right now. And so it's been disappointing. You got enough time, but you got to pick it up and you got to finish it off.
Well, there's one of those howitzers right there.
That's a nuts goal. I mean, it doesn't look as impossible from that angle, but if you're looking at the goal like Acosta was, he had almost nothing to shoot at. Here, this angle, this is a crazy angle here, Joey. Look what you're shooting at. What are you shooting at? How do you pick that spot? That's nuts. That's nuts. Celebrate, young man. And then
not a lot of daylight between Araujo and the post there,
no,
and that's
not
for
at
sure.
all. I mean, look at that. That's a crazy angle. And then the last one at the very end of the half, just a terrible defensive possession for the Ambush, allowing them to get that look. But you got to give credit again to the Comets for putting away a ridiculous shot.
Michael Lennis controlling on the outside for a Comets team that advanced all the way to the final last year, lost to Chihuahua. Ball popped up way in the air for Marquez, settled down by Tetsane. John A. yanks it away. Lennis heading forward, SK repels, and SK ultimately runs it tightrope along the top of the board. Will SK and John SK both out there for the Ambush to start this fourth.
You know, Joey, I like
Frank out there as well.
I like when teams play kind of like their mascots. And what we saw last year was quite literally a Comet from KC. As the middle of the season, they took off. And, you know, they hit the ground a little hard there at the end. And Chihuahua, the entire season, was indeed savage.
Lennis off the wall. Well done by Paulo with his legs to corral it. They lost the series in 2 games, both by 1 goal.
So it'd be kind of like if the Ambush maybe had an unexpectedly mild season in the regular season, but then out of nowhere in the playoffs just jumped you.
You were trying to scare me there. He just grabbed my shoulder. I hardly flinched.
Just saying, that's how the Ambush are going to win their first championship, like an Ambush.
30 years after the last time they won a championship.
NPSL champs back in 1994, 1995. NPSL with Mark Moser and Daryl Duran.
Well, hey, the Ambush got to go to work. That's the only professional soccer championship in St. Louis. But now there's another league in town.
Dell slams that, bounces away from Varela, who's got 2 of the 3 goals. Reget. Cleverly done to get it over to Palmer. They don't keep going forward, but he's looking back and fed it across. Now Palmer, a little more daylight up the left side. He and Pino back and forth.
By the way, that league I'm referring to, the other pro league in St. Louis, is that's me and Joey actually trying to establish NIL to take grade school soccer professional.
As soon as I figure out what NIL actually is, I'll join you.
Well, then, as soon as you figure it out, I'm going to. St. Thomas Aquinas is ready to take over St. Louis, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get these 6th graders paid.
You heard it here first.
Car dealerships and everything.
Stolen, Pino and Reget. Barry helps him out.
Does that 7th grader have an F-250?
Reget driving back through Haliman. 12:27 left in the 4th. Comets 8, Ambush 3. And Palmer and Tetsane. And Pereira from Marquez. And an inch on Varela. Paulo ties him up around the Tucano side. Ball ends up off a red shirt. And ultimately gets whistled dead as Uzi Tayu ends up on his derriere. Fans, our next home game will be on Sunday, December 15th when the Ambush take on the Milwaukee Wave. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com or at the Family Arena box office. The full schedule can be found at STLambush.com.
See right now, there it is, that MPSL Champions 1995 30-year anniversary. And the Ambush making some moves in the offseason to try to coda that 30th anniversary with a win of its own.
It certainly feels like a championship-type roster. Of course, we trail in this first game of the season, but once this squad gets going and gets a chance to play together, I'm sure it's going to take the league by storm. Frank Tayu, Uzi Tayu, not active tonight. Mo NDI.
He's going to be a big addition. Man,
we could use him tonight.
Mo's going to be a big addition, man. He was so fun.
Ability to meister out of the back is just unparalleled, really.
How much fun did he make that first season that we were on the call, Joe? It was special.
He was in the top 3 in points for a good swath of that season. Uh-oh, Lennis going to take away against the King as Tetsane was holding him up. Paulo pounces out.
Probably not a good thing for the Ambush when Frank Tayu is having to command the ball that much in his own box. You need to get him the ball, but you got to get him the ball in attacking scenarios.
Down goes Duduka in an attacking scenario. Almeida and him want to go quick.
Well, look at the
Comets stifle the ball.
Look at the group that the Ambush have put on the field here, Joey. Lucas Almeida having a big game tonight. Duduka, JT Thomas, Will Eskay, and Frank Tayu. This is a goal-scoring shift for the Ambush with this ball in this spot.
4 gone in the 4th. We need one. Down by 5. 2 on the wall. Reagan and Palmer. Almeida slithers one over to Tayu. Frank takes his time. Duduka pulls it to the left foot. Got tipped on the way in. SK was ready with the mousetrap. Instead, it's whacked forward by Reget. Almeida with Reget tumbling through. Reget did not get a piece, and this is going to the top of the bow and arrow.
Frank Tayu passing up the opportunity with that cross pass over to Duduka, trying to stretch the Comets defense. Didn't work, but a good look.
And they'll take a timeout. Lennis signals for it. Just past the 4-minute mark of the 4th with his team up by 5. Fans, we know you got them, so break them out. Break out those ugly sweaters and join us for family photos with Santa on the concourse before the game on Friday, December 20th at 7:05. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com or at the Family.
Series, and look at the trophy.
That Wana trophy's looking good, baby. Tastiest trophy in the MASL.
I want it. I want the trophy. Can I have it?
You can eat it, Matt.
I can eat it? Yes.
I think this one's made of metal, though. That's not.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you can't eat it. It's harder, but it doesn't. Everything's edible if you try, Joey.
Forks are metal. We eat those, right?
I don't think you're supposed to eat the fork.
I've always said the first person to invent an edible shampoo is going to be a very, very rich man.
I've always said this. You're an ambitious person.
An ambitious person? Really?
Yeah. Eating
Appreciate
forks, chugging ranch. I mean,
I'm still not
the
through with
dietary.
that giant jar of ranch he gave me at the end of the season, Chili.
Are you even a Midwesterner? Come on.
Something like 128 servings in that thing. I got through about
And you
124.
haven't eaten that?
I'll be toasting with that if the ambush can come back and win this one tonight. Lennis toasting from the top of the arc, leaving Acosta off the inside of the post. Ricochets wildly away.
The woodwork, Robin Acosta, of just an absolutely ridiculous final stat line in this game. And Hundelt just dropped a Comet.
Down is Lennis. And he's a little slow to get up. Hundelt, tough as they come in this league. Acosta narrowly missing his hat trick. He's got 2 assists to go along with a couple of goals. Uzi blockading right by the Comets bench and the fans. Still 4 numbers as far as time in the 4th, but things starting to feel a little late for this ambush offense.
Yeah, killing a third of this 4th quarter without the ambush scoring a goal is an early win in this quarter for the Comets.
Varela
Far
the
from
volley
over.
with the head, but SK couldn't get to it.
Far from over, but if there's a checkbox over there on the clipboard of Stefan Stokic, he's checking one off right now as we hit the 10-minute mark.
Has the fountain pen ready, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Paulo takes it over the yellow line. There's no Leo Gibson anymore with the Comets. At the relatively young age of 63 years old, he retires from the MASL. Gave the coaching duties last season to Stefan Stokic, longtime friend.
And man, can he coach? Because when he took over, like I was joking about earlier, a Comet-like resurgence from the Kansas City squad, starting mid-season and taking them all the way to that Ron Newman Cup final. Extremely impressive coaching job by Stokic, and we noticed it the moment he took over. We got him a game here right after they're coming off a bad losing streak, and they just looked like a completely different organization.
And Comets won the season series last year. Ambush did have an overtime winner against Kansas City, but they had 4 wins in regulation. Araujo got a piece at the top of the box. Araujo trying to turn it into soup. Gets spilled. Almeida sets it up. Ambush with 8:57. I was going to say it's basically a corner, but it'll be pushed back a little bit further. Almeida not thrilled about that. And Arraus, Lennis, 2 on the wall. JT closest. Tayu up top. Entry toward Thomas gets stuffed. Frank has to sprint back to claim this close to the center line. Paulo. Disc golfs one to Will. Forward, Frank loses the touch. Wins it back though from Andreas. Pulls it back in. The King has it stolen away by Andreas. Almeida into the corner, off the wall, looking for that 3rd assist. He's got a goal plus 2 apples. Araujo with Paulo now acting as an offensive player. Duduka off the bench, 8:19. Almeida. Ultimately through Tayu.
Pretty long shift for Tayu. I wonder if we see him off here.
Duduka. Ambush. Trying to penetrate the shell. Bounces to Duduka. Ejimadu again. Fingertips.
Another slap save from Ejimadu. It keeps working. The rebounds have only bit him one time so far.
Paulo, length of the field, thought he saw something with Taiyu lurking. Ejimadu this time makes a catch, though you're right, it's been more slaps than anything, swats that he's been.
Deflections, I mean, they'll work.
Using tonight, 7:31, that ball out courtesy of KC. And we will go to the official timeout. Ambush still down by 5 at the Family Arena.
Community America Credit Union, where every member feels like a star. Member owned, open to all. Community America Credit Union, invested in you.
Take control. Make a healthy change. Maintain a healthy weight. Exercise regularly. Don't smoke or use smokeless tobacco. Eat a healthy diet. Limit alcohol. Protect yourself from the sun and avoid tanning beds. Protect against sexually transmitted infections. Get screening tests. For more 8 Ways tips, visit siteman.woostel.edu/take control.
Fourth quarter, first game of the MASL schedule. It's now or never for an Ambush team that's been dealing with a deficit all night long.
Absolutely. You got to get the ball to Frank Taiyu. You need your secondary players like Will Eske, like Duduka, like JT Thomas to also get on the board as well. You're not getting 5 from just one man, and you're not going to get 5 easy or quick. These 7.5 minutes, you need quick, concise, decisive soccer. That's what you need right now. Make your plays, take your shots. You got a backup tender. Test him for once this game.
Ejimadu has passed every test so far. Duduka, Chestine, Hundelt bustling through, but Duduka's header ends up arching out over the glass.
Credit to the Ambush. They have taken the lead in shots on goal this game, 22-19. Continuing as a 12-7 breakdown, that means they flipped it completely, 15-7 in their favor here in the second half. But still, even here in the second half, they have scored the exact same amount of goals as the Comets, so it really hasn't come to much yet. Put up a shut-up time here, last 7 minutes. Can you make this a game?
Hundelt has played well. Varela, of course, has played well with a couple of goals. Outside of that, though, a lot of guys looking like they're getting their boots under them for the first time in a season that'll last well into the spring. And Arreos making it interesting against Paulo. Barry making it too interesting against Uzi. All over, grappling with him. Whistle comes through, and the Ambush get the set piece off the wall. It's just rolled over to Paulo. This is what he has to do the rest of the game. Ambush going 6-on-5, but with the keeper still on the field. 6:33.
Luxury you get when you have a keeper as talented as Paulo. Can play the ball. He's got a good eye, good vision down the field.
Almeida. Barry doesn't bite on the footwork.
The nuts tackle from Marcel Barry. Doesn't bite, sliding tackle. Ooh, not so good of a tackle there from Palmer.
Goes ankles, no.
Yeah, Varela's not happy that there's no card coming out.
There's going to be a flag that's thrown, though. Challenge flag. I think this should be a blue card. And they will go to the screen. Review underway, our first of the season. We will see how this one is ultimately adjudicated. Fans, if there's a call that you disagree with tonight, you might just see it on the MASL's most controversial show, Under Review, with Phil Levanco and MASL head referee Ryan Sigich. Catch it every Friday on YouTube.
Lucas Almeida is one of my favorite players, Joey, because if you only watched just ambush broadcasts or just ambush games, you maybe would have one idea about him. And then you meet him and you talk to him, and it's hard to square who he is when you're just having a conversation with him with the antagonist, I guess is the best way to describe him if you're not an ambush
Ruling comes through, and this is not going to be to our liking. It gets waved off, as in any potential blue card on it. They rule just a foul, and Almeida will go outside the gold line on a restart for the ambush.
But if you watch Lucas, he's always chipping with the refs. You saw Palmer walked up to the refs, and Almeida gave him a little bit of a shoulder away.
And
he's just, once you put him between the white lines, he locks in a way.
And this unsuccessful challenge will mean that the ambush will not get another challenge in the game. New rule: if you're successful on the first, you do get a second.
Well, Troy, when they go to overtime, they'll get another one.
An OT, that would be awarded. And that is what we're hoping we can maybe climb to. Duduka, header, JT. Can't really keep it against Vandergriff. SK into the corner. Thomas. Flooded into the corner for Tayu. Frank still looking for his first ambush goal. Almeida to Thomas! Ejimadu doing gymnastics to keep that out of the back of the cage. SK and Palmer sandwich on it. Casey going to get a free kick.
I will say the ambush offense has done a much better job creating opportunities, getting runs near the ball, and getting these shots that are testing Ejimadu. He's just having a crazy game for a guy in just his 5th ever MASL start. And considering the goalie he's replacing today, Philip Ejimadu has been, if not the player of the game, one of the top 3.
Big shoes to fill. The 6'4" Nicolau Neto.
Big hands, Phil.
Big gloves to fill.
Look at him. You can see him from up here. He's got bear paws.
He is with the team, and he is officially the backup goaltender, though I think the idea is avoid using him.
Oh, I thought it was intimidation. He's huge.
Neto towers over everybody else at the edge of that KC bench. Less than 5. Ambush needs something here.
He's also been very vocal. He's been another coach on the bench, and I think, man, that's so meaningful when a guy's injured like that, to have him coaching. And he's been in Philip Ejimadu's ear the entire game. I'm good with support and advice, and I'm sure scouting advice, because he knows the ambush better than almost anybody.
Had a career year last year, leading up to the Cup final.
If you're not a Comets fan, you might not be a Nicolau Neto fan, but if you like talented players, winning players, you got to respect Nicolau Neto.
Off the window, Pino. Forward went Acosta, and down goes SK. SK is not a believer. He gives a little fake massage.
That was good.
To Acosta's legs.
Will SK still having a little fun.
He's the technical director for our local club, St. Louis Stars. Shout out to them, and shout out to all of our SCC YSA players here on SCC YSA night. Great to have you with us. The Family Arena youngsters were playing at halftime. Less than 4 now. John A. They've got the squeegee on the time dolphin. That was Tetsane holding it down on the board through the challenge of John A. Tetsane gets it back and says, let's do it again. He's this time going to lose it to Hundelt. The King. Thwarted from behind. Toe poked away as they swarmed him. Every time Tayu gets the ball, just as Stokic told us pre-game, they're going to get in front of him, they're going to disrupt him, but they let him dictate it and then just fly to the ball, and they've done a good job to hold him scoreless tonight. 3:08.
Yeah, you really got to give a lot of credit to the Comets. I mean, when you look at Frank Tayu, just obviously one of the most incredible careers in the entire history of this game here. And Joey, 203 games played, 537 points, 403 goals, which means he averages 2.5 points and 2 goals a game, and he has been held scoreless tonight by the Kansas City Comets. Obviously, when you're getting involved with a new team, it's always tough. You have some big games, you have some not so big games in this sport. But anytime you can hold a guy who averages across 200 games, 2.5 points and 2 goals, and you held him to nothing, that's an incredible, incredible defensive job. One of the things that Stokic told us before the game, we didn't get to talk about this earlier, we almost got there, is that they knew what the Ambush were getting in Frank Tayu and Uzi Tayu. He knew what they were getting, and so the question was, are they going to be doing anything differently with Ambush jerseys on that they weren't doing for all these games we've seen them before? And so far, I'm not sure if that's been the case, but whatever has been the case, the Comets have held him down, and it's been very impressive. And honestly, the assist part might be more impressive because you're doubling
Barry
him hard.
hands it.
You're doubling him hard, and he's not finding anybody on the assist. That might be even more impressive because you're holding him scoreless, and with the way you're doubling, he should be scoreless, but he hasn't gotten the assist either. Guy's got over 150 in his career.
Duduka. Short off the wall, wanted Thomas. Ejimadu gets it away. Barry sends it downfield with Paulo pushed up. 90 seconds left in the MASL season opener. SK from Paulo. Make sure you follow across social media. MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram. MASL Arena on Twitter. We've got Angela Sharp post-game on the field. Stick around and make sure you rejoin us on the 15th against the Milwaukee Wave. 2:05 on the start time. Full schedule, stlambush.com. Paulo is down. He and Lennis together on the turf, and this looks real painful for Paulo.
And Joey, we've been talking about him all night.
Blue card is going to go against Lennis, so we'll get our first power play of the season.
Philip Ejimadu coming into this game, Joey, he had 82 career saves in his 10 career MASL games. He is now up to 96. He has 14 saves tonight, which means 15% of his career saves have come during today's game, to the great chagrin of all 2,000-plus Ambush fans in attendance tonight.
Blue card against Lennis after he ice-picked Paulo to the floor, but looks like Stefan Stokic is saying, take another look at that. Referee is going to the review screen. 2,802 joining us at Family Arena in St. Charles. We're back the 15th, 20th, and 31st. 3 games at home in December. What do you think about this one, Matt? Fact or fiction as both of these guys go for the ball?
Looked to me like ball was contacted by both Paulo and
Lennis, and it looks like that call will stand.
And I'm kind of surprised we're seeing the blue card. I thought Lennis got a piece of the ball as he's going in, and yeah, he makes a pretty rough contact with Paulo. But if you get contact with the ball as you're coming in, I think it kind of alleviates you of any issues, in my opinion.
We'll see what they say about it on MASL under review.
Well, Joey, I don't think I've gotten one right yet in their view, so I think we'll know.
In my view, you've got them all right, man.
Joey, you're too sweet.
Not just because I'm contractually obligated to be your friend either.
Wait, what?
No, I'm your friend for free. I'm your co-commentator for money. Varela. Outside through Almeida. Almeida stifled by Barry. Closing in against Varela. KC wanted something shorthanded. This is still kind of functioning as 5-on-5. Because Paulo is pulled up. Ambush leaving the power play goal. Ejimadu steps in front of that. Hot rocket from JT Thomas. 45 seconds left in regulation.
Yeah, almost gives you a 6-on-4 advantage, Joey. You got to be able to score here.
The King, Frank Tayu, loses that. Vandergriff arches it up to Duca. Goes for a wild kick and gets called for a foul.
Yeah, Duca's got to watch that there. He
caught
went up
Palmer
high,
pretty
he
good
caught Palmer
on the elbow by the looks of it. Palmer smiling though as he walks away. He and Frank have a word of encouragement. 31 seconds left.
Going to be disappointing here if this 124 penalty left on the mark doesn't end in a goal, at least for the ambush. Doesn't matter much here as the last 25 seconds click away, but you want something here.
Go out on a high note here.
Especially
Good
for
note,
Frank
right?
Taiyu. I mean, you want the king. You want the king to get off the mark in his first game. That always feels good.
A little north of 20 seconds to do it. Frank, looks like the clock was frozen there for a few seconds. Almeida down low, wanted SK. Vandergrift takes it away. Periscopes downfield, thought about it.
Oh, come on.
The keeper has it bumped away by Rian Marquez. 3 seconds. Paulo up top. Frank, final second. Horn blows. It would not have counted.
Would have been another Ejimadu save, too.
Ejimadu, a big star for KC. Backup goalie steps in to get a win.
He was just laying out on the ground. You know what? He earned a little nap on the carpet, I think, Joey. What a game from Philip Ejimadu.
Acosta scored twice, had a couple of assists. Ejimadu was big in net for the Comets. Lucas Almeida had a goal and 2 assists for the ambush. Julio Varela, his ambush 2024-2025 debut, scored twice, but not enough as the ambush fell behind 4-0 after the first quarter and could never really work their way back into the game. Final score, KC Comets 8, St. Louis Ambush 3. The first game of the MASL season is finished. These two teams once again meet on Sunday, 6 p.m. start, Cable Dahmer Arena, Independence, Missouri. Make sure you're with us, MASL TV and CBS Sports Golazo. We still have our all-star of the game about to be named, and we've still got Angela Sharp coming up for you on the turf. The Wana Trophy is out. Now, ultimately, the Wana Trophy is going to be claimed after this 5-game series is complete. Kansas City gets their first notch in that 5-game series with the win tonight. I-70 series will start with the big trophy cup on their side for the moment. But a lot of battles to come in this great rivalry. And you never know how seasons can shift and go as things start to twist and turn.
Yeah, Joey, not the start you want to see, though, if you're the ambush. Just that little stretch there in the third that started about midway through the second when you're able to hold down defensively the Comets. That gave you some positivity, but, man, the overall game is not what you wanted to see if you're the ambush. Game number 1, but of course, when you make 8 changes from your final roster at the end of last season, it's going to take a minute to get things dialed in. These players haven't worked together that much. You saw some moments in there where, you know, maybe Frank Taiyu isn't expecting somebody to cut, and so he tries to lay one deep to reset, or the opposite happens. He's expecting somebody to cut and it doesn't work.
Let's go down to Angela. She's with Lucas Almeida.
Now, you had a great goal, right? I know you all guys always hate to talk to me after a loss, but let's talk about the positives, okay? You had a great goal. You guys had some momentum, right?
Yeah. First game back, we getting to know each other. We're getting to work together. We're gonna keep building from here.
And let's talk about the ambush fans that came out in support. We're talking about a fun little rivalry you guys have here with the Wana I-70 series against the Comets, and the ambush fans came out in full support.
They always do. We are thankful for them, and we appreciate, and we'll keep pushing.
Now, we know that you guys are doing the best of 3 for this magical trophy over here, next game being on Sunday. So what are we being you, because I don't play, what are we going to do to kind of make sure that we can win that game and have a chance at the trophy?
A little more quality on the ball, keeping the possession, move the ball around, and the opportunities will come.
What I want is I need all the ambush fans in here to make a lot of noise so he'll smile, because he looks so mad. Let me hear you make a lot of noise and yell, "Go ambush!" 3, 2, 1.
Lucas Almeida, a goal plus 2 assists. Solid performance from this seemingly ageless ambush team leader.
Yeah, and you heard one of the big things there, keeping possession. We talked about it earlier. Coach Locker wants them to be a more possession-heavy team. Last year, they didn't have the scoring heft they have this year, so it was more about sitting back, playing defensively and winning games on the counter. This year, they want to play on the front foot. They want to win, dominate possession, and win games that way. Tonight, we saw it for a stretch. We need to see it for longer periods of time going into the next game.
Almeida and Varela stood out tonight. More ambush players hoping to step up on Sunday at 6 o'clock when the ambush and the KC Comets meet on the other side of the state of Missouri.
Yeah, it's going to be big. Obviously, the good mental thing is that you have a chance to reroute everything and come right back and steal one in Cable Dahmer Arena. You can even do it for an international audience on CBS Galazzo. So shake it off, come right back, snap back, and take a win back the other way from in Cable Dahmer from the Comets. That's the big thing for the ambush.
Ambush back at home December 15th. Until then, for our entire crew, plus Matt Rocchio, I'm Joey Zanaboni saying so long. From St. Charles, this has been St. Louis Ambush Soccer on MASL TV.